Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Marvelous Anime. Today we're going to discuss 12 dark anime that will break you mentally. These are shows that touch on profound and disturbing themes. They question the limits of stories. They show the fragility of the human mind. Others reveal harsh truths about people in society. Get ready for intense plots and shocking twists as we dive in and explore these unforgettable anime. Before we get into our list, though, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Berserk! Baby Guts is found underneath a dead corpse hung from a tree and brought up by mercenaries. He has a violent and tragic childhood. His adoptive father, Gambino, mistreats him to the extent that Guts ends up killing him in order to survive. Alone, he becomes part of a mercenary band but quits to preserve his freedom. He ends up meeting Griffith, the leader of the Band of the Hawk. Griffith dreams of his own kingdom, and Guts joins the Hawks and quickly becomes their finest warrior. They win battle after battle and climb in power. Guts bonds with Casca, the only woman in the group, and everything changes when Guts decides to leave. Griffith can't accept losing him and crashes out, sleeping with the Princess Charlotte. He's caught and tortured for this act, and the Band of the Hawk becomes outlaws. Guts comes back to save Griffith, only to see him in ruins and silence. Griffith's mysterious behelit activates, triggering the eclipse, causing demons to come, and Griffith to betray his friends. Apostles slaughter most of the Hawks, and Guts and Casca survive, but are doomed. Griffith is reborn as a demon named Femto and assaults Casca. Guts loses an arm and an eye fighting to protect her. From here on out, Guts becomes the Black Swordsman. He hunts the monsters who destroyed his life. Berserk's story is raw and brutal. It shows trauma shaping people through loss and betrayal. Identity fractures and rebuilds as violence drives them. The plot never slows, carrying you through darkness and pain. The story is bitter, full of truth. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Neon Genesis Evangelion begins with a disaster known as the Second Impact. Shinji Ikari arrives at Tokyo 3 to meet with his father, Gendo, who is the leader of NERV. NERV battles off monsters known as the Angels. These angels possess powerful shields referred to as AT fields and only be battled using enormous robots known as Evangelions. These robots sync with their pilots' minds. Shinji is forced to pilot these, Unit 1, right away. He struggles and the robot is damaged, causing Shinji to black out. The robot ends up fighting alone, killing the angel. Following this battle, Shinji goes to stay with Misato, an officer in NERV. She becomes his guardian, and Shinji engages in more fights with angels, but is continuously overwhelmed. After a particularly harrowing battle, he ends up running away, but Misato convinces him to stay. Shinji meets Rei, the quiet pilot of Unit 0. Together, they fight the angel Ramia. Asuka joins later. She's confident and pilots Unit 2. The three fight many angels, and every fight challenges them more and more. Shinji develops a discomfort with fear and isolation because he faces deep trauma. He becomes entangled in an angel but manages to escape. Friend's Eva gets corrupted, and Shinji must fight his friend. Asuka's mind breaks after a mental attack, and Rei sacrifices herself for Shinji, but returns as a clone. Kaworu Nagisa, the last angel, friends Shinji. He asks Shinji to kill him. Shinji does so, feels guilty. In the finale, Gendo unleashes a plot to bring the souls of all humans together. Shinji is in trouble, but he discovers that he requires other people in himself. He accepts connection and self-love. Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss is the story of a young orphan girl named Riko. She lives in the town of Orth. The town is encircled by a large hole known as the Abyss. The Abyss is full of obscure artifacts and remnants of ancient people. The explorers who explore the cave and seek these relics are termed cave raiders. Descending deeper is deadly because of the curse of the Abyss. This curse causes sickness, or worse, when people climb back up. Few people who explore the lowest layers ever return. Riko dreams of becoming a White Whistle, which is a top rank among cave raiders. Her mother, Liza, was a famous White Whistle who disappeared into the Abyss. Riko wants to be like her. One day, as they delve into the surface, Riko discovers a missing boy called Reg. He looks part human and part robot. Riko names him after her old dog. They bring Reg back to the orphanage and become friends. Later, discoveries appear from the Abyss. Among them are notes from Liza and a message saying she waits at the bottom. Riko decides to secretly leave the orphan and wants to find her mother. Reg joins her on the dangerous descent. Together, they face the harsh and deadly Abyss. They battle monsters and withstand the curse. Friendship, survival, and mystery form the adventure, which evokes emotional and existential uneasiness. Made in Abyss is a movie that compels the audience to confront darkness both within and without. It's haunting and strong in its storytelling, as pain and hope merge into a special and memorable experience. Monster! Monster follows Dr. Kenzo Tenma, a skilled Japanese neurosurgeon working in West Germany. Tenma faces a moral crisis when two critical patients arrive: Johann Liebert, a young boy with a gunshot to the head, and the mayor. Defying orders, Tenma saves Johann. The mayor dies. Tenma loses his position and his engagement ends. Soon after, the hospital director and opposing doctors are murdered. The Liebert twins vanish. Years pass. Tenma rises to chief of surgery, his life shifts again, and he ends up treating Adolf Junkers, a criminal who warns about a monster. Johann, now an adult, kills Junkers before Tenma's eyes. Tenma realizes his mercy birthed the killer. Suspected of the murders, Tenma is pursued by Inspector Lund. He searches for Johann and his twin sister Anna, now Nina Fortner, who wrestles with trauma and nightmares. Johann kills Nina's adoptive parents, and Tenma discovers that Johann was part of a covert eugenics program in East Germany. Johann was indoctrinated and shaped into a calculating murderer. Tenma tracks Johann through Germany, becoming increasingly determined as the danger grows. Johann is a cold and remorseless evil personified. Guilt that Tenma experiences is the driving force behind his justice and redemption. The show explores the concepts of identity, trauma, and good versus evil. The characters are exposed to ethical dilemmas and misery. The narrative is presented gradually to create tension and reflections. The haunting effect is contributed to by its focused and realistic style. The quest of Johann by Tenma culminates in a tense climax. Monster explores the dark side of humans and the price of compassion. It makes the audience think about the essence of evil and the responsibility of choices. Serial Experiments Lain. Serial Experiments Lain drags you into a world where the line between reality and cyberspace is blurred. Lain Iwakura is a quiet middle schooler living in Setagaya, Tokyo. Her family is distant and emotionally cold. Her life changes when she gets emails from Chisa, a classmate who recently died. Chisa says she lives in the Wired, a vast digital world. This mystery drags Lain deeper into this online realm, questioning what's real. The Wired grows beyond the internet. It connects brains and may blur the border between the body and the program. One of the scientists, Masumi Iri, uploads his consciousness and identifies himself as God of the Wired. In his eyes, Lain is the key to the combination of the real and the virtual world. The Knights are hackers who adore him and desire to break all boundaries. It results in anarchy and physical devastation. Lain is isolated and confused. Her family ignores her, and her schoolmates are afraid of her increasing influence. She gets a psyche chip meant to boost her computer, but it also connects her deeper into the Wired and her shifting identity. Lain begins questioning her humanity and her existence in this digital maze. She faces alienation, loneliness, and the fear of losing herself. The story twists reality and self-identity. It tells a terrifying story of how technology can separate and unite us. Her experience reveals human misery and the desire to belong. The show is disturbing as it obscures the mind, flesh, and spirit, compelling existential story. The hardship experienced by Lain makes you reconsider what identity is, what connection is, and what it means to be real. Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied tells the story of Lucy, a mutated being called a Diclonius. These creatures resemble humans except that they possess horns and invisible arms known as vectors. Lucy escapes from a secret lab in Kamakura. She's injured during her escape and develops a second innocent personality named Niu. Lucy is found and taken in by Koda and his cousin Yuka, university students nearby. They don't know about her violent past. Several times, Lucy's dark side emerges, causing destruction and death. The government's special assault team tries to recapture her, but Lucy has a history of abuse and hatred. Violence and discrimination are also problems faced by other Dicloni. The show deals with bigotry and humanity. The two personalities of Lucy represent her broken identity and trauma. This conflict draws Koda and Yuka even more. They attempt to defend Lucy and get to know her character. Other Dicloni and government forces attack. Dark secrets of the plant and the Diclonius species are unraveled. It's a blend of horror and tenderness. There are scenes of friendship and love as well as graphic violence and gore. Themes of revenge, identity, and social alienation drive the plot. Lucy wants her sufferings to be accepted and avenged. The anime concludes with a clash where all their relationships are put to the test. Lucy's destiny is still unclear, raising issues of redemption and humanity. Elfen Lied confronts the audience with its cruel and emotional story about monsters and our identity as human beings. Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is about Mima Kirigwe. She's a pop idol who leaves her J-pop group to become an actress. Fans react strongly, and many are upset. One obsessive fan, Mimania, starts stalking. Mima finds a website called Mima's Room, which details her daily life. She confides in her manager Rumi, who advises her to ignore the site. Mima takes a role in a crime drama called Double Bind. Her part becomes darker and more intense, and she's asked to film a rape scene. She accepts, but finds it very upsetting, and the stress affects her. She begins to doubt what's real and sees visions of her idol self who taunts her. Mima's grip on reality loosens. Strange things happen. People involved in her acting career are starting to die. A photographer who took nude photos of her was murdered. A writer linked to Mima's Room is killed. Mima's mind is clouded by paranoia. She doubts her own memories and recalls that she killed somebody in a frenzy. She's unsure if she's the killer or a victim of her own mind. Eventually, the story reveals the truth about manager Rumi. She's obsessed with controlling Mima, and it was her who set up Mima's Room as a trap. She fabricates a new personality to replace Mima because she wants to erase the real Mima. The climax involves a confrontation. Rumi, dressed as Mima, tries to destroy her rival. Mima fights back and escapes, and Rumi's mind is shattered. In the end, Mima visits Rumi in a hospital. Rumi still believes that she's the real Mima. Mima leaves, smiling into a car mirror. She declares how she's the real thing. The movie finishes with a powerful statement of identity and illusion. It asks what actually makes oneself. Perfect Blue is skillfully executed to demonstrate the ugly face of fame, identity, and mental breakdown. Texhnolyze. Texhnolyze takes place in Luck, a broken underground city. Luck survives by mining Rafi, a rare mineral. Ichse is a pit fighter. He loses an arm and a leg after angering a powerful man. Scientist Eriko Doc Canada saves him and gives him prosthetic limbs. These limbs have traces of his dead mother's DNA. Ichse enters Lux's powerful fights. Three groups battle for control. Organo is a crime syndicate ruling Lux. The Salvation Union wants to overthrow them. The Rakan youths use their own prosthetics as weapons. Ichise meets Ran, a girl who can see the future. Kazuho Yoshi, a man from the surface, stirs trouble between groups. Yoshi tries to kill Onishi, Organo's leader. Ichise kills Yoshi instead. A new group, called the Class, led by Kano, appears. Kano's biomechanical soldiers, the Shapes, conquer Lux. They want to attack the surface world next. Ichise and Doc go to the surface and find a bleak land with theonormals, humans kept alive by tech, dying out. Records show the surface sent unwanted people underground to build Lux. This truth crushes Doc and he kills himself. Ichise returns to Lux, but the city is in ruins. Dead and broken shapes lie everywhere, and he's forced to kill his broken friend Haruhiko, who's now a shape. Ichise faces Kano in a final fight. Kano wants to force human evolution, but Ichise kills him. While dying on a rooftop, Ichise sees Ran's drawing of a flower. It's their last link. He dies quietly as the city fades. Texhnolyze explores survival, violence, and human despair in a dystopian world where hope is fragile. Devilman Crybaby. The story of Devilman Crybaby follows high schooler Akira Fudo, who's shy. His life changes when his friend Ryo Asuka tells him about demons. They go to a nightclub where demons are summoned. Ryo films a massacre of humans caused by demons. To survive and fight back, Akira integrates with Amon, a famous demon. He turns into Devilman, who has both demonic and human powers. Akira and Ryo face many demons, including Jinmen, kills some of Akira's loved ones. Ryo reveals that many humans and athletes are secretly demons and they recruit others. Their friendship is put to the test by the havoc of the demons. Society erupts into panic and violence. They'll attack each other and the world turns hostile. The demons possess humans and spread terror. Akira and the other Devilmen try to protect humans, but Ryo's true identity as Satan is revealed. He wants to exterminate humanity to make way for demons. Akira refuses to join him. Ryo's plans lead to destruction. Planet turns into a desert. Akira carries on a fierce battle only to be crushed. He dies knowing that he had attempted to save everyone, but Ryo laments over him knowing what he's lost. The world is destroyed, transformed permanent. Devilman Crybaby is a show that explores themes like love, betrayal, duality of good and evil. It demonstrates how fear and violence are poisoning society. It raises the question as to who is the monster, human or demon. Higurashi, When They Cry. Higurashi, When They Cry is a story about Keiichi Maibara, who moves to the village of Hinamizawa. He quickly befriends Mion, Shion, Rina, Rika, and Satoko. The village celebrates the annual Watanagashi festival. It honors the local deity Oyashiro. However, a curse haunts the festival day. For 4 years, murders and disappearances have happened on the festival. Locals call it the Oyashiro curse. After this year's festival, disturbing deaths, a photographer and a nurse die under strange circumstances. Keiichi and friends try to solve the mystery, but they often fall into paranoia and violence. Rika is a shrine maiden who can observe different timelines, and she communicates with the spirit Hanyu. Each time she dies, she moves to a new reality. They discover a disease called Hinamizawa syndrome. It causes paranoia and violent rages. The villagers believe it's a curse from Oyashiro. Mio Takano, a nurse, is partly responsible. She uses the curse to cover her actions. The syndrome worsens without an infection queen who keeps it at bay. Rika is the last infection. Keiichi learns from the loops of reality. He tries to change the outcome. With help from the spirit Hanyu, they stop Mio's plan, and the village moves towards a peaceful future. Rika even travels back in time to save Mio from her dark fate. Higurashi does not provide soothing assurance. It explores the awful weakness of faith, the high cost of silence, the need of humanity to find hope even in the worst of times. It's a chilling game of fate and decision that makes us wonder how much of our reality is shaped by fear and how much we struggle to let go of. School Days. School Days centers on Makoto Irao, a high school student starting his second term. He becomes infatuated with Kotonoha Katsura, a girl who rides the same train. Makoto is shy and unsure how to approach her. His classmate and desk partner, Sakai Sayonji, offers to help. Through her, Koto confesses his feelings to Kotonoha. Their relationship begins awkwardly. Makoto struggles with intimacy and steps forward too quickly. Sakai becomes his coach and even falls in love with Makoto. She's the one who educates him on love and directs their communications. Nonetheless, Kotonoha is hesitant and far off. Makoto is undecided, and this causes complications. Even as he's dating Kotonoha, he gets involved with Sakai. The love triangle causes jealousy, betrayal, and heartbreak. Secrets and lies spread among their friends and classmates. Emotions grow darker as Makoto starts betraying those who trust him, and Sakai gets pregnant, further straining the relationships. Gossip and treachery build up, separating every. Kotonoha falls to pieces, and Makoto dissolves into more confusion and selfishness. The relationships unravel violently, and the series ends in tragedy. Sakai kills Makoto after a heated confrontation. Kotonoha kills Sakai in revenge. In a terrifying climax, Kotonoha holds on to the severed head of Makoto as he falls asleep, one of the depictions of love symbolized by suffering and devastation. School Days is a reversal of the conventional love story. It discusses the transformation of the young person's feelings into obsession and sadism. The show has a shocking, intense, and controversial ending that has a long, lingering effect. Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Puella Magi Madoka Magica begins in the town of Mirakihara, where middle school students Madoka Kaname and Sayaka Miki encounter Kyubei, a being that offers them magical abilities. The girls are transformed into magical girls to fight witches in exchange for a wish. A strange transfer student, Omura Akemi, attempts to prevent Madoka from making this contract. Madoka and Sayaka encounter an old magical girl, Mami Tomoe. Mami presents them with the life of a magical girl, which is full of pain and suffering. Madoka finds out that the souls of magical girls are ensouled gems. These gems, when touched with despair, grow into witches. Sayaka becomes a magical girl to heal her crush, Kyosuke, but heartbreak turns her into a witch. Kyubei reveals that he is an alien harvesting emotions from magical girls to prevent the universe's heat death. Omura repeatedly visits the same month, trying to save Madoka from a terrible fate. Madoka and Kyoko Sakura try to save Sayaka but fail. Omura fights against a mighty witch while Purgisnacht but loses. Madoka chooses to be a magical girl despite the warnings by Homura. She wants to destroy every witch before they're born. This desire elevates Madoka to the so-called Law of Cycles, a cosmic power that cleanses the magical girls, prevents them from turning into witches. A new reality emerges where only Homura remembers Madoka. Homura promises to continue the struggle on her behalf and the world that she loved. Madoka's sacrifice alters the rules of the universe, giving magical girls a sense of hope at a very heavy and lonely cost. Marvelous verdict! So, that brings us to the end of our journey through dark and thought-provoking anime. Each of them leaves us with more than just stories and invites us to consider the darkness in ourselves. They question, torment, and linger with us long after the screen goes black. What anime shook you the most and why? Let us know in the comments down below, and until next time, stay curious, and stay marvelous.